Okay. Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about a few things: faith, belief systems, and the doctor in the sky, or that's what I like to call the doctor in the sky. So, my name is Dr. Sharnael Wolverton Sihon. I'm with Swiftfire True TV, and yeah, I'm super excited because we are going to talk about a lot of good things today. I think it's going to be a fun little chat and not very long, but it'll get to the point. So I am a big book person, and I brought a lot of books with me last week when I went out of town, like I always do, because I may need to read or I may not read at all. But yeah, my husband gets on to me because he's like, can you just pick like two, maybe three books so we don't have to bring a suitcase of books? But yeah, I had a lot of books. And it's interesting because I brought one, two, like six, seven books, and all of them, three of them pointed back when I just flipped through and was reading them. Three of them pointed back to one book, and then two of them pointed back to another book. So I was like, wow, that's kind of weird because I just happened to have all the books, and I didn't know that the ones that were referring to the other ones were literally like people who studied those two main people that were so awesome. So I was kind of like looking at the other three and the other two and thinking, you know what? Why not get it from the horse's mouth? Because these two people obviously kept referring to these two people. These two people were the ones who inspired these other people to write these books or to have these testimonies or to do whatever they're doing. And it was all based on like belief systems, the subconscious, and the two main people that actually there's three people that I was referring to are Jose Silva, mind control method, having to do with the Silva process or the Silva method. And another one had to do with Joseph Murphy, which is interesting regarding the subconscious, which some of you may have studied him. But one other lady that was really interesting, and she's one of the books that was referring to Silva, was the Contest Queen. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard about the Contest Queen, but this lady won a crap load of contests over the years, over and over and over. And basically, this is her book, the Name It, Claim It game, Maneuvers and Wishcraft instead of witchcraft. So I thought that was super cool. But one little thing that stuck out to me, because she goes into how to win and faith to win and just having this attitude that no matter what, I'm going to win. So there's nothing less than that. And actually it worked for her. And I have a whole video on the science of winning, because studies actually prove and show once you start winning, you keep winning because you're so used to winning and you expect it. And there's like a chemical response too, and a physiological, like with your body response in your cells, that put it in the code of like, I'm a winner and I always win. So you're just like, I know I'm going to get that parking spot. I'm not going to win that trip. I'm not going to get that car. I know I'm going to be first place. Like whatever the situation is, once you just know that goes in the field and then you get a match. So, but what jumped out to me in this book specifically, and by the way, this is the other book. I'd be curious if any of you have read these. And then they also refer to this one, The Magic of Believing, which I haven't read yet, but I kind of skimmed through. And then this seems to be like a biggie, Joseph Murphy, Subconscious. Love it. Lots of underlines in this one. Haven't touched this one yet at all, like not even cracked it. But this one I read the whole thing. So I want to talk about this because I think this is something for you, that I want to just point out. So this lady won all these contests, but in life, she had the same attitude. And I'm going to give you this example because I really feel like this is for somebody today. And it's something that I've practiced in my life without even reading the book. So I was like, oh my gosh, I really like this lady. She's got it going on. She's now passed, but she was in a specific situation where she was supposed to be speaking at a conference in Russia. actually with Jose Silva. She was going to be speaking at a conference with him. And she wasn't feeling well and hadn't been feeling well for a while. And she didn't really go to traditional doctors and do that whole thing, which is also kind of my deal. And she goes to she just was having a lot of pain and finally had decided, like, I got to do something, or I'm wondering what to do. And so she went to just meditate and get in her center and really like ask her own body, like, what is going on. And she referred to it as her great physician. Because she, even when she went there, she was like, how should I refer to you, when she's asking these questions within herself. And the response that she got was, just refer to me as that doctor that you know, which I thought was so cute, or the great physician. So I personally refer to the doctor in the sky, and or the big office, the big sky office doctor. So that's how I refer to my doctor in the sky, is like the God in me who's the great physician. So we had a little parallel there, but she was like, just refer to me when you're talking to people as a doctor I know, which is really the doctor in her, which just means teacher, which just means the great healer, right? So anyway, she went to what I call the doctor in the sky, or the doctor inside, or the big office, whatever you want to call it. And she said, will I be, what's going on? What do I do? And am I going to be able to go to this conference? And the response that she got was, go and get your stomach checked, and you will be able to go to the conference. You may have a little discomfort, but definitely go get your stomach checked by a doctor, and go only with a countenance and or an attitude of humor, which was interesting. So I think that's interesting. Also, she felt not to talk to anyone about it. She didn't talk to any of her family. There wasn't Facebook and all that. So I'm kind of like that too. When stuff's going down, I have been in situations where I'm like, no one knows about this. I want to keep the energy very pure. The only people who would know about anything going on would be after I'm already getting better and seeing some, because people will partner with fear. And when you say things like see or whatever, people have friends that have gone through that, or they had a bad experience themselves, or it's all over the news and it's the program. So all the C, both the C's, people associate with the program of death. And so she didn't talk to her kids about it, and wasn't, obviously that wasn't even coming in her mind, but she just was like, I'll go see a doctor. So she goes to the doctor. The doctor is basically like, you have a mass. Not you, but the doctor told her, there is a mass on your stomach, and we're gonna, and her response, because she's supposed to go with humor, was, well, is it a boy or a girl? And he kind of like wasn't sure what to say, but she was trying to laugh it off and make it light of the situation. And so he said, I don't know if you understand, but this is kind of serious. And her response was, yeah, I guess it would be being this age and being pregnant. That is kind of serious, isn't it? And then she kind of laughed. And he was just like, not really sure what to do with that information. Like, is this lady okay? So he goes into the fact that he's going to have it removed surgically. And it was a Thursday, I believe. And she said, okay, well, I'm trying to get to this conference. I'm scheduled to be at this conference in Russia. And so when would we do this? And he was like, I think I can get you in the next 3-4 weeks. And she was like, oh no, we need to do this Monday. And he was like, well, I don't know. That's like impossible, because we would have to do X, Y, and Z and do all these things to make that happen. And she was like, well, what are you waiting for? Like, get on the phone and make it happen. So that was her attitude, is like, we're doing this, and this is when it's going to be done, and this is how it's going to be done. And so sure enough, he made it happen, and he had the surgery for Monday. Now, for prep work, he had told her, we're going to have to put you on so-and-so medicine, because there's a possibility that you could bleed out, and that would be really bad. And her response was, no, that's okay. I'm just going to tell my body not to bleed out. And of course, he's like cockeyed, and yeah. And so then he even says, like, well, okay, we'll go ahead and fill a prescription before we're ready, so you have it for pain afterwards too, because you'll have pain. And she was like, no, that's cool, I'm good, because I'll just tell my body not to have pain, and I will tell my body that anytime pain comes up, I'm just going to shift it into healing waves that go throughout my body instead of pain waves. And he was, of course, like, okay. And so she goes in on Monday, and she said that as they were doing anesthesia, her husband was in there, and that the anesthesiologist, I believe it was, or one of the doctors, had said to the husband, thinking she's asleep, hey, she mentioned something about not bleeding out and not being on the medicine because she cannot bleed out or something. Like, can you tell us how she's going to do that? And his response was, oh yeah, she's taking care of that. She just told her body not to. So, anyway, they had the surgery, and of course went well, and she got to go to the conference in Russia. So my point being is, first of all, we have a divine intelligence that we can go to that gave her a heads up of what's going on, how it's going to work. And she listened to that intuition. She listened to the doctor in the sky, that doctor that she knew. And you all have your own doctor that you know, and we all have that technology within us. So, and the second thing is humor is very important, which I just did a whole episode on that. Megan and I did an episode with um, Ronald, I mean, Rodney Howard. Rodney Norman. So definitely check that out, because there's so much chemical response to laughter and just going in with a light heart and not taking things so serious, and, giving your body the ability to just do what it needs to do and not have that fear or that, stress, which causes all kinds of more complications. So that's important. But the other thing is just the faith and the belief that she could actually control and or orchestrate what her body would do. She did not bleed out. She had minimal pain. She never used the pain medicine. And when it did pop up with pain, she just told her body, you know what? I just want to transmute that right now into healing waves, and I receive healing waves throughout my body right now. So this is short, but I just wanted to put it out there because maybe some of you guys are in situations or something similar where it's like, you know what? It's time to go to that doctor in the sky. It's time to go into that meditation. It's time to get centered and figure out, like, what is it that I need to be doing? What is it that I should not be doing? Maybe it's time to drink more water. Maybe it's time to get off soda. Maybe it's time to stop sugar. I know when I started my keto situation, way before I knew that there was anything going on with me physically, I was getting a heads up early in the morning before I would even wake up, that kind of in between time where you first kind of wake up, but you're not really halfway awake, kind of twilight. That's where I get most of my good stuff. If you're aware, and keep a journal next to your bed, or just keep your phone with notes, or type it up, or do something just to help hold it. So if you go back to sleep, you don't forget it. But yeah, so just be aware that you already have the technology. Go into it with humor, and listen in the morning, because like I got sidetracked when I was going through my healing thing. I would keep waking up and I would hear, stop eating sugar, get off alcohol, stop drinking coffee. Like, I would have these like things that were like hints to me that the doctor in me, not just being a naturopathic doctor, but I mean the great physician, the doctor in the sky in me, or the doctor in the big office right here, was telling me, like, hey, these are some things, because God and me knew that stuff was going on and that I needed to get ahead of it by stopping some of these things. And God is telling you different things too, and it's in your technology. So being aware, listen, realizing that we have the abilities to orchestrate things, walking in humor about it. And, there are times definitely that I go see a doctor as well. And sometimes that needs to be done. So Hope this was helpful for you. Definitely love all these books, and it might be something you're interested in checking out yourself. Like I said, I haven't jumped on this yet, but this is on my pile. I've definitely looked into this one. I'm about halfway through on it, and lots of underlines. But love you guys so much. Also, you could get my book, This Science of Miracles, which talks about a lot of this stuff and just how to change your timeline, how to get out of trauma loops, how to work with your signature code. It talks about your biofield, how to work with it, what a biofield is, how to change patterns that aren't working for you. So go to swiftfire.org, check that out. You can also go to all my classes and different things there. I have my card deck. This is actually the card that I picked for you guys today, which is a Sunstone. Sunstone is a radiant healer and balancer. This crystal clears and cleanses all energies, brings restoration to the soul, to your soul. This crystal is especially effective in its use for solar plexus energy center, having to do with motivation, action, will, and security. Sunstone is a happy crystal, empowering courage and positive vibes. There we go, talking about humor, happy. The decree is, I am God energy and joy in action now. I am God, joy in action now. Companion oils, copaiba, spearmint, orange, and tangerine, all very, very happy oils. So all my cards have what they do physically, some sort of decree that matches it on a frequency level, and then it has 4 companion oils, and there's 80 cards in all of these. So you can pick those up, as well as some of my books and classes. And yeah, I have 5 books. My keto book is out. So yeah, check all of these out. Go to the website, and don't forget, our podcast show is every Thursday at noon, and we have a lot of really good interviews coming up. Oh my God, you guys, the summer is packed with fun. So definitely get subscribed to our email list at swiftfire.org, our newsletter, swiftfire.org, and then go to our website, swiftfire.org, and check out to see what's coming up. That way you know who we're interviewing. So hope you're having a great day. Talk soon, and I hope this was helpful. I would love to know if you guys are reading this, or what you guys do for humor, what you do for your faith and your belief system, and if you personally talk to your doctor in the sky. All right, talk soon. Bye.